Hey, how's it going? ZmanTheTech here. Thanks for clicking on the video and tuning into SnoleyGames. Today, I'm showcasing 5 new indie games that you should definitely check out. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have an addictive physics-based puzzle game called Rope Hope on Nintendo Switch. In this game, you'll need to use timing, momentum, and/or inertia to work your way through obstacle-based puzzles to complete each level. There are 50 challenging and unique puzzles to master, and the difficulty ramps up gradually as you progress. It gets to a point to where you really have to play around with the laws of physics, and it really starts to bake your noodle. And like Anakin Skywalker said, this is where the fun begins. I say that because the first 10 levels or so are really quite rudimentary, and there's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, the devs' intention is to ease the player in and get them prepared for the real challenge, and I feel that it was executed fairly well. Take note of the advanced techniques that you learn along the way as you encounter obstacles to overcome. You'll need them later on for the more advanced levels. Think of it as a show me what you learn skills test. If you like physics-based puzzle games, this is a decent one to give your brain some exercise. This game retails for $8.99, and you'll need about 155 megabytes for the install. The next game on my list is a cozy shop simulation game called Goblin, where you uncover and clean trinkets to sell them to quirky customers. In this game, you portray the role of a goblin shopkeeper who is relatively new to the job, and you end up learning on the fly. You'll be chiseling trinkets that are covered in what looks to be sediment or dirt and uncovering whatever trinket resides within it, after which you'll clean them off and add them to your stash so they could be sold to customers that request them. The money that you earn from the sales can eventually be used to upgrade your shop, buy better tools, and expand and customize your space. The gameplay loop is very addictive and quite engaging. In the beginning, it's all about learning the flow of things and catching that stride, knowing when to chisel things, when to clean them, all the while paying attention to the customer counter as guests arrive. The chiseling and cleaning actions are bound to a meter that you'll have to manage, as it's tied into a day and night cycle as well. So you can only do so much work in a day. Quite naturally, your goal is to make as many sales each day as possible. However, it also helps to have a lot of inventory available for sale, especially if they're already chiseled and cleaned. At the very least, having them chiseled is a great start, as you'll only have to clean them before they're requested for sale. This game was fully funded on Kickstarter and released on November 6th via Steam. It retails for $14.99, however it's currently $13.49 for the introductory offer that will last until November 18th. There is also a free demo if you're interested in trying it out right now. You'll need about 3 gigabytes of space for the install. Following along, we have the awesome roguelike deck builder called Toads of the Bayou. It's a blend of turn-based tactics and roguelike deck building where you'll have specific objectives to complete in each battle. You can hire mercenaries to aid you in battle, and they all have special skills that prove extremely useful, making said battles a lot more manageable. As far as the story goes, Baron Samedi has tricked a group of wandering frogs into finding a place to settle down in what turns out to be a cursed bayou, and now it's up to you to fight through his army of minions to cleanse the corruption. As you progress, you'll be upgrading your tavern, and there will be certain allies that grant you unique abilities and join you on your journey, powerful cards to add to your deck, traps for strategic combat, and veves to harness your voodoo powers. The blending of the two genres is seamless and works really well. The game is fairly easy to pick up compared to others in the genre that I've tried out. I really appreciate the attention to detail of the culture within the game, and I feel it was used in a respectful manner, and that's very important. This game is planned to release November 19th of this year, so be on the lookout for it. There is a free demo of the game via Steam if you'd like to try it out as well. You'll need about 4 gigabytes of space for the install. Next on my list, we have a horror-themed deck builder called Sl0nk0b0mb. It takes a simplistic and user-friendly approach to its gameplay design and battle flow, which makes it very beginner-friendly for those new to the genre. There really are only 2 types of cards: monster cards and block cards. Both card types require a specific amount of energy to use them. Both card types can have passive and automatic abilities as the card is played and/or at the end of your turn. There are also unique abilities that can be activated after a certain amount of turns have passed as well. Say for instance, ones that deal direct damage to the opponent, omitting their guard, or even an ability that causes all attack cards to temporarily be disabled for 1 turn on the opposing side. As you complete battles on the dynamic map, you earn more cards that you can arrange in the deck builder to keep things fresh and mix up your strategy accordingly. This game features stunning visuals, smooth animations, high fidelity effects, a creepy atmospheric soundtrack, and a fully detailed and in-depth tutorial. It can be played solo, online PvP, and online co-op. There is also a free demo if you're interested in trying it out via Steam. This game retails for $9.99, and you'll need about 4 gigabytes of space for the install. The final game on my list is a brutal third-person perspective beat-em-up called Acts of Blood. This game features realistic, highly detailed characters and environments, an intricate combat system with counter reversals and brutal finishers, melee weapons, firearms, and challenging boss fights waiting at the end of each level. The story is set in the dystopian city of Bandung, Indonesia, and you portray a character named Hendra whose family was murdered by his father's business rival. In this city, the legal system is corrupt and protects killers, so he ends up taking matters into his own hands and aims to take down the criminal organization responsible for his family's death. The art design and animations are smooth, and the soundtrack just as adrenaline-inducing as the combat in the game, and it matches perfectly. The visuals really do exhibit that dark and gritty look that they're aiming for, and I really think they nailed it as far as aesthetics go. The combat is easy to get a handle on, and the gameplay is pretty straightforward, quite user-friendly. The thing that will take some getting used to is the timing of the counter reversals, but it's definitely manageable once you catch the rhythm and flow of the combat system. Your main attack is the X button, and if you keep pressing it, you unleash a flurry of attacks that connect into a nice combo string that you can cancel out of as needed via a reversal or an evasive dodge. The counter reversal is performed by pressing the Y button at the right time when prompted. You can pick up weapons with the B button, perform the evasive dodge with the right trigger, and execute finishers with the X and A buttons simultaneously. You also have a rage mode that builds up as you fight enemies, and you can activate it by pressing up on the D-pad. I also appreciate that you can visually customize the main character at the start of the game. It's not the deepest level of customization, but it's nice that it's there. A little added bonus, if you will. This game's release date is still to be determined, so make sure you add it to your wish list to get the notification when it drops. There's a free demo available right now if you're interested in checking it out, and you'll need about 7 GB of space for the install. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. I really appreciate you checking it out and sharing some of your time today. These games definitely piqued my interest when I stumbled across them, and I wanted to help spread the word of their existence. I know it's quite a mix of genres, but hey, I like variety, and you never know who's into what. And if these really aren't your jam, that's okay too, but please do share this video to someone who might like some of the games that I've covered here, as it would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, if you like what you've seen, be sure to hit that like button. It helps out a ton with the algorithm to help push my content to others like yourself. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more content like this. Have a good one, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.
Futuristic classic. Time is of the essence. I feel like I have mastered. Futuristic classic. It's always moving forward, so I'm never moving backwards.